What is your view on this evolution of Google's market power in travel?
Yeah, so having been in that space for a long time, and actually in other companies too, it is a tricky one. I'll go back to my point a few minutes ago. I understand why Google's doing what they're doing. Their logic is back to customer experience. How can I make this the best customer experience when somebody does a search on Google? And so they're trying to minimize clicks. Now with a majority of searches happening on mobile, how do I, maximize my customer experience here on a smaller device, with less real estate? So, so I think fundamentally they're doing the right thing by the consumer. There's also though the commercial side of things, and public company trying to grow. When they've made some of these changes, it does look like, look, I'm trying to drive more revenue for Google. And again, you can't blame them for being competitive from that standpoint. But it is challenging for any internet business working in the space to deal with how best to compete with Google. And so there's been lots of different lobbying groups in Europe and US to try to slow down some of the stuff that they're doing there. Some have been more successful than others. There was a case in the EU against Google. And so I think there's just a balance that is probably a little, skewed towards Google right now. And who knows what will happen over time? It may shift back at
Mm.
some point.
But it seems like they've slowly entrenched on the ecosystem and kind of sucking all the dollars out of it in a way. And with the flight product they have, with now the hotel product they have, it's and like you said, I mean, arguably they can definitely build a better product in searching for flights with the information they have. Um, I guess there comes the anti-competitive discussion there, but it's interesting to see their power in the ecosystem.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of power there. If it's the main funnel for consumer demand, then it's easy to see how they have as much power as they do. And some would say a lot of people would say it's too much power. And I think in the travel space, it's so acutely on people's minds because two of the top five spenders on Google in the world from a business perspective are Booking and Expedia. And
Mhm.
so, I think Google knows that that's a deep well right there of additional revenue for them. So personally, I'd like to see the competitive balance shift back a little bit more. I'm not opposed for Google making money, but I'd like to see it be a little more balanced, with the other, and not just in travel, other internet businesses.
Do you think Google's a risk to the OTAs?
Oh, of course, yeah. Because one way or the other, it's causing the OTAs to spend more money with Google to compete, to get it to the top of the page in that auction. It's because SEO has been pushed further and further down. The only way to get in front of the consumer's eyeballs is to spend, because your organic's not going to get there. So yeah, it's very definitely affecting the OTA's P&Ls, and I think that's only gotten worse over the last few years.